Here we are, ready to draft on Underdog tonight, and we're drafting RBs. The topic tonight is when to draft an RB. What RB to draft? RBs, you want them to be like now and laters, where you get the benefit now and later, not maybe just at the beginning of the season like Derrick Henry or Christian McCaffrey. So you got to be careful and how you pick and choose. We're going to be talking about running backs the entire show, where to draft them, when to draft them. The Fantasy Football Show begins right now. File on in.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever.
Live whenever news breaks. Live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Live at midnight Eastern. Most nights we draft. We talk about fantasy football content. But most importantly, we're live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. This is a very important topic of when to draft RBs. When are you drafting a guy like Derrick Henry too early or a guy like Christian McCaffrey too early? Are you trusting Bucky? Are you trusting Breece Hall at all at his 4.1 ADP? I think that, like we've talked about in years past, even last year, we're a very running back oriented group. We love to draft the RB. We love to go against the grain and the wide receiver trajectory that people take into every single draft on Underdog. And at the end of the day, you can draft wide receivers until your heart's content. There's nothing wrong with going wide receiver in round 1, RB in round 2, wide receiver in round 3. Consuming running backs that can, like I said, be a now and later. Essentially, you get a little now, you get a little later. It's not like Derrick Henry where he drops off. You're still talking about an RB here that is Harvey. RJ Harvey is going to give you everything at the beginning of the year that he's going to get you at the end of the year, whereas a guy like Henry could drop off. Breece Hall, you can go running back heavy and still, this would be your round 1 pick, your round 2 pick, your round 3 pick, your round 4 pick. Breece Hall is going in 4 or 5. So whether you're going Breece Hall here or Harvey here, Hampton here, and in some cases you can go Harvey in round, especially if you're in a grandma league, Harvey's going to be your round 5 guy. So Harvey here, Hampton or Hall here. So Hamp, Hall. You can essentially even go wide receiver, QB, or tight end here, and you're still going running back heavy. I just want people to understand that just because we love drafting RBs doesn't mean we can't also consume other positions through the first 3 rounds of football. This is such a unique year to get guys like Genty in round 1 if we wanted to go Genty here, and feel plenty happy with that, given that we can couple early wide receiver or tight end with Genty because he's going to be a 9, 10, 11 overall pick. But you don't have to take RB in round 1 to be running back heavy. You don't have to take RB in round 2 to be running back heavy. You could essentially grab a guy like Kyron in round 3, Hampton or Hall in round 4, Harvey in round 5, and go wide receiver, and get the best of both worlds. This is the year to consume late running back. And in that conversation, though, you can still take a Gibbs or a Bijan here and still have you stack the hell out of this this running back stable, even in something along the lines like this. So you're going to go JD5 if he falls there, or Joe Burrow or Hurts or whoever. I think this is the one year where it doesn't matter where you draft. RBs are plentiful up and down the board. And to suggest that you can't go RB heavy from any draft slot, from any draft strategy is crazy. This is the year of the RB. Dare I say that in this second round, there are very few wide receivers I even love. I love London. St. Brown falls at the top of that round. I'm fine there. I obviously like BT if he's at the 12, 13 turn. But after you get past like London, you're forcing a 3rd round Garrett Wilson there if you need to go wide receiver. Wide receiver, it's not, there's no dead zone, but it's certainly like a light zone a watered down wide receiver territory in that 2-3 range, almost through the entirety of round 2 and into round 3. If anything, running back is just your savior throughout the entire draft. Whether you're grabbing Gibbs and Bijan and Genti in round 1, whether you're grabbing Bucky and JT and a plethora of RBs in round 2, Kyron in some cases, Kyron again in the 3rd round, and Hampton and Harvey and Hurts and Hall, and it just goes on and on. I love RB in any context, and I'm going to open the phone line to have a discussion around RB. So if you call in, please specifically ask about RB. And
call into the show.
If you got any other questions, we'll hit all your questions as well. But dial in. And while we do that, yeah, jump into a puppy draft. I'll tell you when to hit the green button on Underdog, promo code Smitty. Here is the link right here. I'll drop it in the live chat. Smitty gets it done. The code Smitty gets it done as well. But here's the link right here. Drop it in the live chat. I'll pin it in the live chat as well. And it's in the description of every video, including this one. I went ahead and pinned it. This is how you get in, okay? So you're going to go to the Originals tab. You're going to go to the active draft, then click lobby. You can click NFL, find your way to the puppy. I've got it up and loaded. I'm not clicking the green button yet. We're gonna select 20 seconds, which is auto selected, and we're gonna click the green button in 5. We're gonna click the green button in 2, 1, smash, jump into the puppy now. If you don't get in, don't fret, don't get upset. You can draft right alongside of your boy. Okay, let's go ahead and pull up the draft right now, and I'll share my screen, and you can watch me get sniped. We've got, who do we got in here that I recognize? Bear Down, The Biz, Troy. I think I recognize about 3 of you in here. So let me share my screen. Is my screen there? Delayed and showing up. Let me put the topic on hand on screen. Phone lines might actually not be working yet. Hold on, let me reboot them. Because I not having a call yet indicates that. Sorry, try again. I think I had a caller just calling right now. I apologize for that. Try one more time. Phone line should be open now. Topic of the day is running back. Running back. Travis, try calling in again. 725 caller, try calling in again. I'm sorry about that. Phone line should be back. Hopefully they're working. Let me hit the voicemail here. Play Denny's voicemail. And see if... Travis, are you there, or do I need to turn my speaker on?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, there you are. Yeah, I got you. What's up?
Okay, cool. Not much. What pick did you end up getting in the draft?
Number 6. Did you get in? Or no?
No, I'm not going to draft this one.
Oh, okay. All right. Running back.
I'll wait till you make it first.
No, go ahead. It's fine. I'm on deck, but go ahead. Running back. Tell me about running back. And again, if Lamb falls here, I don't know if he will. I'm taking Lamb. I might take Genti here, to be honest with you. I want Lamb to be the pick here. Guys timing out on Lamb, of course. The problem is, again, this is when we draft running back, when we feel good about drafting running back. I'm not sure I'm loving this second round wide receiver, so I'm very tempted to just take Neighbors here. I'm going to go Gibbs. I don't have a lot of Gibbs built teams, so let's go Gibbs here. See what wide receivers. Let's test out the second round and see where we feel comfortable grabbing a receiver. But I a lot of times either end up with MHJ in round 3 if I go running back or something, and I end up with Garrett Wilson if I'm lucky in round 3. But I don't think I'd be as lucky to get him at the 3.6. I doubt it. So I don't know if I've got a, not force receiver here, because I never force a position. I always draft a player. But all things being equal, will I go wide receiver here? We'll find out. But go ahead and tell me what your feeling is on RB this year. Like, what's your general thought on RB this year? Are you loving running back more so? Are you finding dead zones yourself in certain places?
So in the past, I've a lot of times, unless I get unless I'm going for a chase or something like that in the past, I go running back quite a bit, but I find myself more this year, unless I take Bijan or Gibbs, and I guess Genty's kind of climbing into that spot now too, top 10 now. Unless it's one of them, I'm going receiver because I think it's tougher to get like a top 5 receiver type than it is to get a top 5 to 7 running back type. And if you look at the ADPs, I mean,
yeah,
all the way down like Kyron and Brees, and then after that you get the rookies coming up into the 50s and even into the 60s somewhat. So there's value all over the place.
My strategy of choice, without a hesitation, is going Lamb or JJ or Jamar Chase or Neighbors usually. But I wanted to test this out. See, I'm not a Lab McConkey guy. That's the top available wide receiver. T. Higgins is all way too early. I like Garrett Wilson, and I'm just gonna I'm gonna go Bucky here. I'm gonna go RB, and then again, not my favorite strategy. My favorite one would have been Lamb at 6, but I could have went Neighbors and Bucky, and that would have been great too. But I love these RBs. Don't get me wrong, but I have to get a MHJ or a Garrett Wilson to fall, and I don't know that they will. And if they don't, like, you can really get screwed. I don't mind I might even try running back here. We'll see, but I don't mind going a Rashee Rice or a JSN if they fall, but hard to know. We'll see how this works. Usually RB is not, it's not going to give you the team you want 50% of the time. It depends where your draft slot is, but it usually, if you've got a number 1 overall pick, then you're going RB wide receiver, but you have back-to-back. So it doesn't really, you can definitely do that. But when you go like RB from the middle or the end of round 1 or the middle of the draft, I'd say 50% of the time you're a little bit upset about your receiving room.
Yeah, because I've found myself sometimes you have to decide between the RB or reaching, taking a Garrett Wilson who's 25, Marvin Harrison 26, JSN 28, because when you look at the beginning of the second round, there's London, who I like, AJ Brown, who I'm a little iffy on, McConkey, who I'm a little iffy on, and T. Higgins. And
look at this team
round ADP.
at the 1 spot. Way to botch that. Saquon, Josh Allen, Lamar. I'm not against bully QB, but not in the 1 hole where you have a huge advantage over everybody with that 3rd drafted player. You could get a Mahomes. You could easily bully QB still without having to go Lamar at the 25. Like, that is a big whiff, taking away all your advantage. By the way, you remember that draft where that guy drafted Kyler? What were the 3 quarterbacks he drafted? In round 1, he drafted like Baker. It was, what was it again?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God, Marv just went. JSN or Rashee Rice or Kyron? Kyron, JSN, Rashee Rice. 5 seconds.
I didn't hear you. I'm sorry. Who'd you take?
I went JSN. So I went Gibbs, Bucky, JSN. Not bad. But again, I don't... I walk out and I just feel like I love it, but I don't know that I feel this is the best team I could have drafted from this draft slot, which is why I do tend to, like, I would have went Kyron here, had Bucky, and been fine with Neighbors more so. But it's still
right.
Really
I was just going to say.
Still a really good team.
Yeah, but like having JSN as your number 1 versus Neighbors, it could definitely work out, but you feel a lot better having Neighbors as your 1.
Yeah. But what was that guy's team he drafted? Like, it was.
I'm trying to remember. Someone in the chat, let us know, because
yeah. Remember when that guy drafted the worst team and we thought it was going to get thrown out? I never got an email that draft got thrown out, so I don't think it did.
Did he have Lamar, Baker?
Yeah.
Someone maybe.
Lamar Baker and it was like Lamar Baker and it was Kyler or something. It was, but it was his first 3 picks. It was worse than that. I forget what it was. I think it might have been Kyler. Yeah, something like that. I don't know. All right, hold on.
What type of draft is this? Was it
This is
weeklies or puppy? Or
This is a puppy. So on the
Okay.
clock here, Travis Hunter just went, or I'm almost on the clock. I'm on the deck. JD5 Hampton. Okay, so JD5 just went. Hampton's there. I think I'm gonna go Hampton here. So I've got Gibbs, Bucky, Hampton, JSN. I could have went wide receiver. I could have went DK. Could have went Devontae Smith. Could have tried to get. I could have went Hurts and tried to get Devontae Smith on the way back. I could regret if Devontae Smith makes it back, which I don't think he will. No, he won't. He's the top of the suggested rank. He won't make it back. There he went. But I don't mind going light wide receiver shopping here still because I'm not forcing it. I don't like any of these guys. I love DK. I do. I really like him, but I don't know that I like him here. So we'll see what happens when we swing around. If Joe Burrow or Jalen Hurts are available in 6 picks, Hurts just went, I would certainly even consider punting wide receiver again. But we'll see who falls. And if we sort by wide receiver, we're looking at DK, J-Mo, George Pickens, who I don't mind as my number 2, to be honest. I think he's going to have a good year. Debo's there for the way back. So if I have JSN and Debo, I'm fine. You know, I'm not worried about my 2 wide receivers, to be honest.
How do you feel about Sutton this year? I know in the past you didn't draft a ton of them.
Yeah.
Do you think that's kind of his ceiling? What he had last year?
Yeah.
1,081 and 8 touchdowns.
I love him.
Like he's the de facto one, not like a true elite one kind of guy.
I like him a lot. I don't know that I'm expecting more. But I am respecting what he's throwing down the last couple of years, and I'm finally saying, you know, damn, you know, just keep believing that he's going to do what he's been doing. But I do think there's room for a little improvement. But what are you expecting? Like 1,100, 1,050, 1,150, and you know, I don't know.
Yeah, I think you go like 1,200 with 10 TDs.
All right,
I mean, I don't know if he will.
Pickens or Harvey, who'd be my 4th running back? Damn it.
Pickens.
Let's do that. Let's be smart. Gibbs, Bucky, Hampton, JSN, George Pickens. I like it. I wanted Harvey really bad, but I need to be smart with it. Harvey went next.
I was actually calling about Hampton to ask you, you think there's a chance that right out of the gate it's just full go with Najee and Hampton if Hampton picks it up quick enough, or do you think it'll take a little time? I
think that you're going to have you're probably going to have definitely a committee. I think Hampton could take the starting job over by like week 4 or 5, but I don't think there's a world, unless Najee's hurt in the preseason, where you see Hampton out there and you just don't ever see Najee and you're like, what the hell is going on? I think they're very, very much going to be a complete 50-50 to start off week 1. It matters. Like if Hampton has a pop play or 2 every game, he's popping one off, then it's going to open the door and it's going to, we need to get him the ball, you know. But Najee, I believe they really want. I think he would get goal line work. I think he's going to get a lot of short yardage work, and we'll just have to see.
I think, and this isn't me hating on Hampton, but I think it keeps Hampton from being able to be like a, top 6 type running back this year anyway. He might be able to squeeze into the top 10 if he's amazing, but
yeah,
I think just because the opportunity to score might be a little bit limited.
Yeah, like I've said, I kind of envision having one of those. If we extrapolate his final 10 games, guys, we had running back 4. Like, we're going to have one of those conversations at the end about Hampton. If we had this, if we had that. Imagine when he, Najee won't be there this year. Imagine what he'll do now. I'm not saying in best ball, that's why I drafted him. I love him in the 4th round. He's fantastic. But in best ball, you get to create this, arsenal weaponry and Man, this is a tough call here. Oh, Debo. This guy right here. Who is this? Damn you, Dab. Nice team. McLaurin, Debo with JD5, Genty, H.N. Harvey. I like that a lot. It's a very, very show-like team. So I went Mahomey. I've got Gibbs, Bucky, JSN, Hampton, Pickens, and Mahomes. Dab, who's been taking all my boys right in front of me and after me. Genty, H.N., McLaurin, JD5, RJ Harvey, Debo. Very the fantasy football show team right there. That's fantastic.
It's a stack. Washington stack.
Yeah, that's great. We got 702 on the line. What's up? You're live. Hello? He wasn't ready for the showtime. He wasn't ready for the spotlight. He hung up as soon as he got called upon. Ill Phil says they should add a sound. Yeah, I don't know why they don't. I mean, I've told them that. Everybody's told them that. They know. It's not like nobody's told them. I don't know why they don't add a sound. Some sort of.
They just have a vibrate? Is that all it is?
Yeah. Hold on one second. Let me add this guy back in. What is going on? What is it? 702. What's your name and where you calling from?
Smitty. Okay, 702.
Oh.
Smitty. Okay, 702.
Oh,
We're doing a dance.
Bill the Tickler.
William.
No, let's do this dance. 702.
Who could this be?
Smitty, my name is Mikey. My name is.
Who could be this belly laughing man? Who could be this?
No,
very.
No, don't you say BTT. Don't you say those BTT words. Don't you do it. No.
Bill.
Mikey the basement.
Mikey the
Yes,
Tickler.
I'm sorry. All right.
What's up,
Mikey
Bill?
the Tickler. Yeah.
What's up, Bill?
Hey. Sorry, Mikey.
Oh, well.
Sorry, Mikey. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Spit it out, Bill.
Sorry.
You're gonna-
everything.
Bill, don't activate the no-nonsense phone line, which I've already created, where you get hung up on if you're not in total locked-in mode, bro.
That's fine. I've
Go
never
ahead.
had any exes, so I've never had any exes. That's fine. Smitty, I'll hang up on me before you hang up on me. I
I
promise
don't know about that. You get to your point, Bill. What can I do for you, Bill? Bill.
Thanks for being there for me, Smitty, and keep
bet.
on rocking. Sorry to interrupt the synopsis. Love you, buddy.
All right, pal. Thank you. He did hang up on himself. I'm gonna time out. Oh, I had a Ibuka queued. Okay, he went early, but it took a Ibuka. Thank God I had him queued. I was like, because I was gonna swipe on Ricky Pierce. That was definitely a reach, but it's okay. It was like a safeguard move. But I love Ibuka though, so I'm fine with that. So I've got JSN, George Pickens, Ibuka. I'll take McMillan later and get myself a nice little secure. Yeah. So guys, I have a couple things to announce. One, we have this no nonsense phone line now.
The no-nonsense phone line protocol has been activated. No small talk, greetings, or story build-ups will be tolerated and will result in disconnection.
So when we're in no nonsense mode, none of this, how you doing, Smitty? What's going on, pal? Hey, can you hear me okay? Am I coming through okay? You do that, you are absolutely cooked and gone.
Finish him.
And Bill just activated. Bill just, there's no 3X's, there's nothing. You, but Smitty, stutter, gone. But Smitty, gone. It's no offense to anybody. Let's try it out. 775 caller. 775. What's your name? Where you calling from? Hurry up. Go. Boom. Let's see if you can do it.
Hello, it's Jaden. I'm calling from Nevada. How you doing, bro?
There it is. No nonsense phone line. He said, how are you doing?
Finish him. Call terminated.
Oh, man. 0 for 1. 0
I
for
haven't
1.
heard it, though. He might have been calling in.
We are on a 10-second delay, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You gotta
be ready.
You gotta be ready. You gotta know what time it is.
Call back in and be ready.
I'm gonna go. Yeah, you can call back, bro. You're fine to call back. I'm gonna go Zach Charbonnet here. I think I'm reaching on a couple of these guys, but I'm trying to multitask here. Go ahead and try and call in. What was his name? Shane? What was his name? Do you remember what his name was?
I missed his name.
I forget too. But here.
The no-nonsense phone line protocol has been activated. No small talk, greetings, or story build-ups will be tolerated and will result in disconnection.
All right, just so everybody knows where we're at, the state of the phone line. This needs to be implemented during the year, especially when we got things to do. We can't be, hey, how you doing? It's not gonna happen. So try again, whatever your name was, 702. Poor guy. Or no, that was Bill was 702. Whatever caller that was, try it again.
It was either Jay or Jaden. I just went and listened to it. I'm not sure exactly what he said. Jay, Jaden, something like that.
Austin said, you can't even say, how are you doing? No, that's the whole point. Austin, what would be the point of a quick phone line if you could have little small talk? That's the whole point of it, bro. There's no small talk. There's no build-ups. There's no gump. Hey, Smitty, can I ask you a question? No, you can't ask me a question. Ask me the question. Don't ask me if you could ask me a question. Keep it moving.
That's going to be a format for now.
Yeah, any sort of dragging of a story even. Or, hey, there's a lot of things that come to boom, gone. That's not, I mean, if I take this off the screen, then it's okay. But if it's on, now no one's calling because it's on. I took it off, okay? I deactivated it. I'll have a deactivation audio thing I can click to so people know it's safe. But, yeah, it should be during drafts too because I am kind of in like a little bit of a chaotic mode here where I'm reaching a tiny bit on some players because I don't have time and people aren't queued. Let's see, we're at 103. I guess I'm going to go Kelsey here. So I've got Mahomes. Let me put my squad up. I got Mahomes, Gibbs, Bucky, Hampton, Sharps, JSN, Pickens, Igbuka, Travis Kelsey. Not bad. Not a bad team. I like it. All right, phone line's open, guys. Dial in.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Some people get so bent out of shape too. Like if you hang up on them, they're like, I'm not calling in anymore. Or someone watching a replay going, this guy thinks he's so important and he hangs up on people. They're trying to call his show and he hangs up on them. What kind of man would do that? Probably not the show for you if it scares you. If you want,
Garrett,
you need to go. Is Garrett mad?
Imagine thinking you're this important.
Garrett,
Pat McAfee.
Garrett, I wonder, is Garrett talking about me or is Garrett talking about the caller? Let's see.
I don't know which one. Clarify, Garrett.
Imagine thinking you are this important. Garrett, you're borderline, bro. Keep it up. Keep it up, Garrett. Let's see how important I am. We'll see how important the show is to you, Garrett. Keep it up, Garrett. Give me one more reason. Give me one more reason, Garrett, and then you won't have to worry about it anymore. How's that? All right. Bo Nix, Caleb, Kyler, Evan Ingram. We're swinging on down here. All right, Garrett ain't going to say anything anymore because he loves the show. He loves the show. He loves the show. Anybody comes in and goes, imagine thinking you're so important. Imagine thinking you're Pat McAfee. First of all, Pat McAfee wasn't Pat McAfee when he was climbing. It's funny that you think because somebody's growing that you don't think that I think that this thing could be, a conglomerate, bro, a monopoly on fantasy football. We'll see, bro. You doubt me, that's fine, but you're here watching. You're here watching, pal.
Said he was talking about the caller.
Yes. Okay. Then Travis got
you. He's been here a while. He's
okay.
Been here watching the show for a long time.
Okay.
He's got the Mars.
Okay. Well, Travis threw you under the bus then.
I'm just looking for clarification. If you say so, I don't know if I believe you, Garrett.
Garrett's locked in. He says, "Don't worry about it."
Yeah, all good.
But would the caller say though? I wonder if he's backtracking on this, because would the caller say that even?
That's why I said I don't know if I believe him.
Yeah, would the caller say that even indicates that he thinks he's Pat McAfee? When you're talking about Pat McAfee being a host, I feel like he's backtracking. I think Garrett did mean it.
Yeah, because all the caller said is actually what you asked callers to say when we're not doing that phone line.
I think,
"Hi, this is so and so from such and such place."
I think Garrett's trying to triple stamp a double stamp. I think he's trying to cross streams. I've been around a while, Garrett.
Trying to wiggle out of it.
I've been around a while, Garrett. I don't know. I kind of remember yelling at you the other day. So, I don't know.
That was over Shador.
Yeah.
Shador was mid.
Okay.
It's all right.
Well, we'll give you a little reset there, Garrett. We'll believe you. Garrett.
I believe.
Imagine, okay, so the caller calls in and says, "Hey, Smitty, how you doing?" And Garrett's response is, "Imagine thinking you're that important. Imagine thinking you're like Pat McAfee." Like, well, what did the caller say that would make? I think Garrett's.
Pat McAfee asking people how they're doing all the time. How dare him?
I think Garrett's trying to pull one out over on him. All right, on the clock here in a second. I like Kyle Williams a lot. Jack Besh ain't bad. I'll probably go. Oh, I can take Tootin here. I'll take Tootin. My running backs are Sharps, Tootin, Hampton, Bucky, Gibbs. I got Mahomes and Dak. I've got JSN, Pickens, Igbuka, Travis Kelce doing it live. Little light on the wide receivers. Garrett better call in and explain, says Michael. Shador is still. You see, Garrett, I know you're backtracking, Garrett. I know you're backtracking. I know you, because you came in talking about Shador, and you've been hating on little things here in the show. You may have been here for a while, but Garrett, you can't trick me. You can't trick me. We know you were talking about me. But nice backtrack, because your backtrack makes it very evident how important the show is to you. And to you, I am a Pat McAfee, obviously, or you wouldn't be so scared to lose your rights in here. I have a bad feeling about Kelce this year. Maybe, Michael, but he's losing some LBs. He wants to give it one more go. He is getting older, though, so an injury is definitely in the cards. But that's why you cuff, especially in best ball, you cuff grade to him. How are you feeling about the Bears running back room? Not feeling very. I think that it's wild to me that Ben Johnson didn't draft an RB. Like, I still can't get over it. I mean, he drafted a Nungai, or I'm sorry, Manungai, who looks pretty good. He's kind of a sleeper for sure, but I mean, you should have went after. I mean, you could have drafted him and another player, like, especially if Ben Johnson's that Gibbs and Monty thing, and Manungai's the Monty. You should have went and got a Gibbs, and Swift ain't a Gibbs. Not to mention, he was a part of the regime that sent Swift packing, and they traded him. So does he really believe in him? Maybe he was the only one that liked him. I don't know. We don't really know, but I think that the Chicago Bears really didn't. I don't know what they were thinking.
I don't know. Do you think they would have taken Travion if the Patriots didn't take him before?
Yes, they would have. I think if you look at the draft,
I feel like that threw him off.
Let's go over to the draft real quickly. So if you look at it, and I believe they traded down. So Hendy went right ahead that pick before, but Judkins also went. So they probably at this 39 pick thought they were getting at least one of those two players. And I could easily see Judkins getting taken by the Chicago Bears. So Judkins goes here. Hendy goes here. Chicago then goes Burden. And then if you look, where else was it? Harvey, here it is. At 60, Harvey goes 60, and the Bears might have thought they were getting him at 62. So that's kind of what I'm thinking is that
because the Bears picked at 56 as well.
Yeah, but I think
picks in the 40s too. They traded out. But.
Yeah.
Maybe they didn't have Harvey high on their list too. You know, sometimes teams are odd about how they rate players.
Yeah, dial into the phone line.
A lot of teams didn't have Harvey going 60.
Yeah, dial in.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
We get that guy to call back.
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes people get hung up on. They just get real offended. Really offended. It was the first time we launched the no nonsense phone line. I couldn't let it slide, and he didn't want to call back. Whoever that was that I hung up on, call back in. Let's do it live. Let's run it back. Also, I'm gonna announce this tomorrow, but I don't mind telling everybody that's here tonight. We have how many people are on the live right now? We got 120. I think I'm going to make an announcement tomorrow that the Dynasty channel we're just going to create the Dynasty content on this channel, but the Dynasty channel isn't going away. I'm going to turn it into a very entertaining behind the scenes of this show that has fantasy context and breakdowns to it. Let me add this caller. And let's see here. McMillan. So I took McMillan. I paired McMillan up with Egbuka. So now my receiving room looks like this. Yeah, I always do this whenever I can. JSN, Pickens, Egbuka, McMillan, Kelsey, Warren, Gibbs, Bucky, Hampton, Sharps, Tootin, Mahomes, Dak. Pretty solid. My favorite team I've ever drafted, no. But I like it a lot. I think it's a good squad. But yeah, so I'm gonna be the Dynasty channel. Mute yourselves real quick, guys, if you're on hold. I hear a lot of background noise from the last caller I just added. Just mute yourself real quickly, and I'll come to you in a second. But the Dynasty channel is essentially I'm going to just create all Dynasty content on the main channel. Because we do this channel is everything anyway. This main channel here you're watching right now, the only channel really. We do Dynasty, we do redraft, we do Superflex. Like none of it's like isolated. We do everything anyway. So what's going to happen is on the homepage of the YouTube channel, on my YouTube, if you go to my YouTube homepage, there will be a Dynasty row. And it will have all Dynasty content on that playlist in that row. And my homepage on my YouTube channel will be very, very important as to trying to find the content you're looking for. The Dynasty column. The Dynasty channel will be unbelievably entertaining, and it's turning it into a different format. But I promise you, you'll not want to unsubscribe. It will be a behind-the-scenes look at this channel, but from creating content perspectives. So it's gonna be like whenever something big breaks, you're gonna see the behind the scenes of breaking it. It's gonna be kind of like a Hard Knocks of this channel. So I think you guys are gonna really enjoy it, and it's a way to keep the Dynasty content churning instead of having these lulls and me producing content. Looks like I'm gonna time out here if I don't grab someone. Anyway, let me go over to the callers. I'll announce it more and make it more clear tomorrow, but nobody panic about the Dynasty content. It's all going to be on this channel in one place. And then the other channel is going to be amazing. You guys are going to love it. The other channel is going to be great. The Dynasty channel is turning into a different form of content that it's going to be more so like longer episode or like almost like a keeping up with Smitty. Keeping up with the fantasy football show on that channel, and it's going to be relevant and relating to not Dynasty content, but relating to current news and things going on. Like if a player gets traded, you're going to probably see my reaction to it, how I'm preparing for it, what in the hell I'm thinking initially. Then parts of my day as well, problems I had, like in an episode coming up, my TV fell off the wall. And so you're going to see all that shit go down. It's crazy. So it'll be fun. It's keeping up with Smitty, essentially. It'll be a very entertaining show. Let me go over to the 903 caller and then over to the 773. But let's start with the 903. 903, you're live. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yo, Smitty, it's Marcus calling from Texas, man. How you doing?
What's up? I'm good, bro.
Yes, sir. Hey, I wanted to touch on the subject at hand earlier, running backs in this year. I think this is the most flexible it's been. I've only been playing fantasy for like 7 years, but man, I think this is the most flexible your bills could be this year that I've been involved in. So, yeah,
yes, sir.
I feel pretty good about it.
Yeah, running back is so spread out. There's no dead zones. There's nothing. It's just a great year to smash RB throughout the entire draft. There's just no dead zones at all.
Yeah,
the wide receiver,
I think maybe like
dry zone is definitely in. There's no dead zone necessarily. I don't really believe in dead zones. There's always somebody, but there's dry zones.
Yeah.
The second round's a dry zone for wide receiver. I don't like McConkey in that area. I don't like. I want Garrett Wilson early in the round 2. I want London at the top, and then I find myself very much not liking wide receiver in round 2 at all.
Yeah, I do agree with you there. Yeah. I think if anything, the wide receiver first round maybe is a strong point, and then running back is like you could do running back second, third, fourth. I mean, there's plenty of football in those second, third, fourth. I mean, you could just build up right there. Yeah, you get your top wide receiver first round, and then you pretty well set.
Yep. Yes, sir. Anything else? What else you got?
That's it, man. Yeah, I just wanted to touch on that point.
Who's your favorite?
Pretty strong. So.
Who's your favorite second round running back, and who's your favorite third round running back?
Ooh, it's tough. They all pretty close, man. I like Bucky. We're big on Bucky, man. I like catching Kyron and Brees. Really everybody, man, in that zone is pretty strong to me. I feel really good when I build my team around them. So
favorites,
all those guys we always touch on.
Favorite second is Bucky. Favorite third is, you got to pick one.
But man, Kyron, I guess. Yeah, we'll go Kyron.
Yeah.
Kyron's a good question, actually.
Yeah, it's and nobody should be drafting play positions like, I take a wide receiver in 1. You should be drafting players. But the truth is, 8 times out of 10, the best player available in round 1 is a wide receiver. Just because you know what you're going to be facing, so that's incorporated in best player available. It's not just a. So yeah, Lewis says Smitty is a Texans hater. I don't think you know what you're talking about, Lewis. I don't think you know really anything about me. It sounds like it.
Nah, and I'm it's so crazy you mentioned Texans while I'm on the phone. I'm from Houston. Look, man, hey, I don't like Stroud either. I didn't like Deshaun. I mean, I liked him that one year he went off, but I don't know. I never really felt right about him. So, and, I kind of agree with Smitty on those guys.
Well,
man.
yeah, but I'm not a Stroud or a Texans hater at all. I like Nico. I like Stroud. I like Stroud walking into the year, but the truth is, it is what it is. Like, what are you gonna do? Pretend everything's okay? What are you gonna do? Pretend like the offensive line isn't trash? One of the biggest concerns. So, I mean, kind of weird.
Yeah, no, man.
Weird comment.
I mean, all right. Yeah, I wouldn't even pay it no mind.
All right, Lewis says he's joking. Everybody backtracking Bobby tonight. All right, thank you, Lewis, for backing off that, I guess. All right, bro, we'll see you later. I'm going to go over to the other caller. Appreciate you. Call back if you got another one.
All right.
Michael, you're live. Sim Valley, thank you for the $2 super chat. Smitty, can you do a super chat My super chat from Friday. Yes, I will. Thank you. I'll leave that on screen. Sim, I remember it. Thank you. Go ahead, caller. You're live.
Hey, Smitty, this is Mike from Chicago. I was on the first ask about we were talking about the Bears. I'm running back room. I think they just couldn't get. I think the draft board just didn't fall their way. I think that's why they didn't get, because they said apparently the reports said they tried to trade up twice in a round for both Ohio State running backs. That didn't work out in their favor. And I think they tried it again. I think the third or fourth round.
Interesting how you word that.
Just didn't work out.
It's interesting how you word that, though. The board didn't go their way. You had 3 picks in round number 2. So the real way to answer that question is the Bears, if running back was a goal, they botched it because they had three draft selections to get it done. So, I mean, I don't know that I would say, things just didn't go their way. 3 picks spread out through the entirety of the second round, and they didn't get it done. So I think it was a failure.
I get that too.
But I'm not saying the players that they got weren't bad. I love Luther Burden. I'm almost mad Luther Burden is a Chicago Bear because I think I just wanted him somewhere else. It's crowded there for one. 2, I don't believe in the Bears. I don't think the Bears develop quarterbacks. Caleb's going to try and change that. Ben Johnson's going to try and change that. They're going to try and get their first 4,000-yard passer. I get all that. I understand that that's the goal, the objective, and that's the hope. But I just don't feel like this is a scenario with Loveland, with DJ Moore, with Adunze, with the idea that this team could, in my opinion, still be playing from behind and throwing in the third and fourth quarter and abandoning, the run and all that. But that's good. That bodes well for maybe some reception totals and some garbage time. I like that. But I just think it's going to be spread around a lot. So I worry about Burden getting consistency out of his rookie year. But I love Burden. He is one of my favorite. He's probably my second, or tied for my second ranked pre. Whoever's got that background noise, you're going to have to mute it. He's probably tied for my second favorite receiver in this draft class. I had Igbuka and Burden ahead of McMillan. And I kind of still do from a talent perspective, obviously, but McMillan got the better spot. So it's tough to say. I think Ibuka's spot looks great a year from today, though. I think he's the number 1 drafted Buck receiver after, this time next year.
Yeah, I get that. I think with Burden, because I think Burden just failed. He did obviously fall. I don't think the Bears expected him to be there on the board. I really think because they said they tried to trade up, so I think they was trying to go for one of those Ohio State running backs. And then when Burden was just sitting there, it was like, you can't pass up on that talent,
I mean, yeah, I like him.
Overly crowded. Yeah, I think it's overly crowded room too, but I think that they're also working in a position where let's see if DJ Moore can continue to produce. Let's see if when we got all these other receivers, let's see who,
But they should have taken an RB here at 56. They should have taken Harvey here. They should have taken Scadaboo at some point. They didn't. They kept punting the RB, and it ended up screwing them, I think, because at the end of the day, Ben Johnson, to me, needs that running back stable to be, the way that it was in Detroit. He needs to have that in order to have success in this situation. But we'll see. We'll see how it pans out. Maybe I'm going to be wrong about Ben Johnson this year. Maybe he's so good, and I give him a shot. I don't think there's a 0 chance that he can turn this around and make Caleb Williams his Jared Goff. Look, Goff was a top 6 quarterback at times. And Goff wasn't. We know Goff was not the number 6 quarterback in the league, but he produced 6, 8. He was top 10. Goff was a top 10 quarterback under Ben Johnson, even when he wasn't really truly that good. Just like Brock Purdy was a top 5 quarterback a couple years ago, when he really wasn't. He was in an amazing system. I'm not saying Brock Purdy's garbage, but he's not a top 5 quarterback, but he played like one. So maybe Goff or Caleb becomes Ben Johnson's Goff. And I could see a world where Caleb was like the 7th ranked fantasy football quarterback, but he still is not, not going to be an elite player. All right, appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, I get that. All right, have a good one.
That's my take. I could be wrong. Stay strong if you're a Bears fan. Stay strong. All right, later, bro. I'm not right about everything. That is for certain. That is for an absolute certainty. So, understand that this could be one of the many things that I do miss for sure. So, who else is on the phone here? Rock out. You're live.
Oh.
What's up, pal?
Go back to Travis. Give me a minute.
Okay.
Anyone else on the line?
No, I don't think so. Smitty giving Caleb a shot is a testament to Ben Johnson, to be honest, says Michael. I mean, it's true. Caleb doesn't have a shot without Ben Johnson. With Ben Johnson, Caleb could become Goff. That's me telling you, at the end of a season, Caleb could be QB7 in fantasy. Not every season, but he could have that kind of season at any moment. That's Ben Johnson. Goff is not an elite quarterback, but he played like a top 6 to 10 guy. All right. Garrett, appreciate your $10 hauler. Garrett says, to clarify, been a supporter forever. One of the highest donos ever. Oh, Garrett does have one of those. First message wasn't about you. The McAfee comment was because you said, keep it moving. It's not a crime to disagree. Okay. Garrett, appreciate you. Garrett, you do have one of the higher super chats now that I remember. But lately you've been coming at me as if you almost have a little bit of a, I don't know, I don't want to say like a hater vibe, but it seemed like it. And I know we won't always agree, but there's been a couple things that you've said that I think feel a little different. But that's fine. I'm not mad. Have I kicked you off the channel? Like, I don't care if people disagree with me. Like, if someone comes in and their objective is to be shooting down everything I'm saying during my entire live stream to disrupt the chat and make it a not so pleasurable experience for everybody in the live chat, that's how you're going to get booted. Or if you come in and you're just completely trolling and you're trying to just disrupt everybody, disruption is what it's about, not disagreeing with me. It's about disruption. So, of course, I appreciate you, Garrett. But, I mean, if you're going to come at my take while I'm in the middle of making it, I'm going to argue with you. Like, that's the whole point of the show. All right. Michael says, Smitty giving Caleb a shot. Oh, I just read that one. And then Sim Valley wanted me to ask this question. Sim Valley, you still there? And I saw your comment just now, Garrett. You said Smitty selectively reading super chats. When have I done that, Garrett? That's what I'm talking about. It's a little bit of a little hater vibe to you lately. Like, I haven't got to your super chat yet, but instead of you giving me the benefit of the doubt, you're bringing like a little negativity to me. Like Smitty selectively reading. You're assuming I'm skipping your super chat. Why would I skip your super chat? When have I ever skipped someone's super chat on purpose? Never. Here's that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, Garrett. Kruger. What's going on with Garrett?
Wilson?
No.
He's gearing up.
Okay. Here. Hold on, Kruger. Kruger, Sim Valley, one super chatter from yesterday, wanted me to ask you. You told me that my Jamar Chase autograph helmet, would you say it might be worth, potentially?
A Jamar Chase autographed helmet could be worth a few $100s. Potentially more if it's authenticated and in great condition.
Didn't he say like $500 last night? Now he's a couple hundred. God, Kruger, where's your data coming from these days?
Haha, my bad, Smitty. Let's stick with around $500, especially if it's in top shape and authenticated.
Yeah.
The market can fluctuate, but you're definitely in that ballpark.
Kruger, don't you think it's more worth like 200?
Well, if it's not authenticated or has some wear and tear, it could be closer to 200.
Kruger, don't you? Kruger, don't you think it'd be more worth like 600?
Absolutely, if it's a pristine. Always aiming for the top value, right?
All right, hold on, Kruger, hold on. All right, this screens. Okay, Sim Valley super chatter wanted me to ask you, what would a Gump autographed helmet be worth? Is that the question, Sim Valley?
The Gump autographed helmet, priceless. But if we had to put a number on it, let's say it's worth its weight in legendary tall tales.
So what would that be? A couple, like maybe $20?
Yeah, maybe $20 and a good story to go with it. It's all about the legend behind the helmet, right?
Is it possible, though, that Gump signing the helmet would devalue the helmet?
There's a chance. Depending on the helmet, adding a Gump autograph might make it a collector's item for comedy value.
All right, thanks, Kruger. All right, did I get that right, Sim Valley? I think that's what your super chat said. Krug, I can literally argue, Krug.
Yeah. Well,
Just change. Is it 200? Is it 600? Is it 200? Is it 600? He just goes back and forth. Ah, that's funny. Rock out. Are you ready? Rock out.
Yeah. When it comes to the Bears, I think they could have took Hampton in the first and then maybe trade up to get Loveland if they wanted to. And then when it came
Jump in
to
a puppy
like,
now.
the Commanders,
green
there were,
button.
like, one pick from R.J. Harvey. I don't know if they would take him because they still loved Amos, but that's kind of my thoughts on that.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, Gump's Lions helmet. Yeah. Thank you, Sim Valley. I don't think the Lions helmet or a helmet, what kind of helmet's going to matter for it would be the same answer. But yeah, hopefully I answered that or I did that right, Sim Valley. Thank you for the super chat earlier. You must have dropped it when the show ended or something, and then you were a little bit behind because I didn't see any super chats when I bailed, but hard to know. Okay, did the draft fill? I think it did. Looks like I'm at the 11 pick. If you didn't get in my draft, that's okay. Make sure you just draft alongside of us. Hit that link that's pinned in the live chat. Code Smitty gets it done as well. Underdog promo code Smitty. Do it live. This is the old. This is the other. This is my team. On the other team, the other draft, Mahomes, Dak, Gibbs, Bucky, Hampton, Charbonnet, Tootin, Wright, JSN, Pickens, Igbuka, McMillan, Bryant, Garrett Wilson, Kelsey, Warren, and Gray. Not my favorite team ever drafted, but I'm fine with it. I think it's a solid squad. All right, let me jump into this draft. 11 pick. I don't know how I'm feeling about this 11 pick. I can't stand not getting. I don't know. I don't know that I've ever loved my 11 slot team yet this year.
Yeah, when Genty was going in that area, it wasn't too bad if you could grab him as a receiver or something. But
yeah, so we're getting
those
close.
top receivers are always good. Or when I think Neighbors was going there for a short time.
So Neighbors is there. He goes. I haven't gotten Nico much.
He's right there. Wow. I didn't realize
Amon,
he was there. Well,
I'm gonna go Amon Ra. And I don't
Amon Ra
hate.
is probably like one of the safer first round picks.
For sure.
Would, but
For sure. Should I go Nico? Should I go wide receiver? I could try it. Achan's nice though. I'm gonna try it. Let's try it. I haven't done a lot of wide receiver.
BTJ. Yeah.
BTJ went
Amon
at
Ra
10.
Nico.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've never drafted Amon Ra Nico this year yet, so why not?
That's an interesting combo. Yeah. Have you seen anything on the Steelers poking around Chris Olave? I've seen like a couple brief things, but probably just smoke.
Not anything I believe. I don't believe in
It would
it.
actually be a fit. Be a bad fit.
By the way, Garrett. It could be a good fit, I suppose. But then again, why not just sign? I mean, unless they just didn't want George Pickens' attitude, but it's like, you know, they said one thing and did another then, because many times they said they were excited to have George Pickens and DK together. And I know that's posturing to maybe trade him, but I don't know. Why go get a concussion-prone wide receiver? I just don't buy it. Jerry, appreciate you. And Garrett, I do appreciate you, Garrett. We've been butting heads lately, but maybe it's the way you're attacking some things lately. Maybe. But I still appreciate you, Garrett. Jerry, $10 hauler. Lamar, Baker, Stafford, Bijan, Kyron, Mason, Caleb, RJ, Scat, Woody, Jamar Chase. Is that Jamar Chase or in Jet? Man, you got JJ and Jamar? That's wild, bro. Am I reading that right? I assume that's Jennings and Kyle Williams. Mark Andrews, Warren. One last year, no first-round picks till 2028. Is that Kyron Williams then? Or is that Kyle Williams? I assume it's Kyle Williams. Yeah, okay. Oh, you got he's got Kyron. He's got Kyron. So he's already got Kyron.
Oh,
okay.
Yep.
Bijan, Kyron, Lamar. Damn, bro. You won last year? No doubt. Jamar Chase, JJ. That's crazy. No first-round picks till 2028. Moves. Trade a running back for a wide receiver. Why? You don't need to do anything, bro. Trade a running back for a wide receiver. No, if you can start... I mean, if you could trade like Caleb and Jennings for like one better player, sure. I guess, like a buy MHJ while he's doubted. Buy... what wide receiver is doubted right now that he could go get? I mean, if anything, I'm going to try and trade Jennings and like Caleb to get like a doubted Bucky or Breece Hall or something.
Garrett Wilson. Some people are down with Garrett Wilson right now. Some people don't like MHJ still.
Yeah, try and move Jennings and Caleb for like one better player maybe. But RJ Harvey, Kyron, you got Hunter to back him up. You've got Chase and JJ. You're good, bro. I'm not even worried. Okay, Kyron's available.
That's Hunter. If people are buying into all the hate right now on pro running and stuff.
Bro, Kyron fell. So my wide receiver strategy is playing out nicely. And this guy took a RB already as McCaffrey and Bowers and no receivers. I venture to see he's going to go wide receiver, or quarterback, wide receiver. So let's see him go wide receiver here. If he does, I get Breece Hall. Okay, he went Hampton. Let's swing big with a Kyron Hall nostalgic 2020, circa 2023 and 2024 stack. Imagine a year ago or a year and a half ago, I came to you and said, you can draft wide receiver, and then you can take Kyron and Breece at the 3-4 turn and get both of them. You'd be like, what? Do they get hurt? No. Kyron plays a full year. So you're telling me coming off of a full year, Kyron Williams is going to go at the end of the third round and I can grab Amon-Ra, Nico, Kyron, and Breece Hall? Jeez. Jerry, good team, bro. Try and get the best receiver you can. Garrett Wilson, Travis said that's a good one. And even if I scroll up and just look at the orange names and try and Garrett, Marv, Drake London's going to be hard to get. Rashee Rice wouldn't be bad. The suspension, the injury, probably cheaper than Worthy. But you could try either one of those guys. JSN, I love. Travis Hunter, if there's he dropped the football today and he tripped. So we'll probably talk about that tomorrow. So he tripped and dropped the football. So people might be selling him. The whole world's freaking out. Travis Hunter, did you see one person put in a news report, yikes. Travis Hunter trips. Oh! He dropped the ball and tripped. Oh no. Remember Jamar Chase could not catch a pro football. The pro football is a lot harder to catch than the college football. I don't know if Jamar Chase is going to make it. Oh, do you remember the burst sack, the little bump on JD5's elbow? Teams are really worried about that affecting him. So go try and buy those guys. You don't have any picks to trade. I get it, but I mean, you got a lot of firepower there. Just don't trade Harvey. Don't trade Kyron. Don't trade either of your stud wide receivers. Don't trade Lamar. Would I trade Lamar in for Mahomes to get like Jennings upgraded into a wide receiver beast, or your running back 3 into a monster? Yes, because I love Mahomes quietly as much as Lamar. Quietly, not obviously on face value or market value.
How do you feel about it's not a tenant premium, so how do you feel about he has Warren? How would you feel about him using like Mark Andrews as a piece to make a deal look better? Or would you be keeping Mark Andrews with this squad?
Yeah, that would be a good move. I just think when you're in a position like that guy who doesn't have draft picks, downgrading to Mahomes from Lamar gives you like a draft pick type of, wiggle room to get something done. Wow. Okay. On the clock here. Don't love anything here, but love Trey Henderson. So now I've got Kyron, Brees, and Trey, and Nico and Amon-Ra. Woo! Pretty sweet. Pretty sweet looking squad, I must say. Now, the only concern I have here, damn it, what do I do? Man, are you kidding me? He took Debo. Oh, because he's got JD5. Makes sense. But God, Debo is so far down. I'm like, okay, I'm going to go deep. Wait a minute, I'm not going to go Debo. All right, I'm not going to get screwed out of Mahomie, even though he probably would go about midway. He'd go down and then midway back, but I wouldn't get him. So reach, no problem. Little reachy poo right there. So the team is Mahomie, Kyron, Brees Hall, Trey Henderson, Amon-Ra, Nico. Woo! Filthy. Just plain filthy. Good Lord. Who's not loving that team? Jeez. Brandon says Hendy over Kamara? Question mark, exclamation point. Attention. Smitty, are you really drafting trying to predict something? I don't understand. You like question mark, exclamation point, Hendy over Kamara? Well, do you see Kamara on this list, Brandon?
There are handfuls of Saturn, Mars, and Moon men, but only 8 can be supernovas. I give you the 8 best picks in fantasy football.
They are the
Jetty.
8 supernovas.
Bucky. Hendy, there he is. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him.
They are the 8 supernovas.
Lammy. BTJ. Travis Hunter.
The hateful 8.
Harvey.
I'm looking at the 8 supernovas. The magnificent 8.
Liftoff of mission 41D, the first flight of the orbiter Discovery, and the shuttle has cleared the tower.
All right. There you go, Brandon. That should answer it. Now, Brandon might say, okay, I was just asking or something like that. But, I mean, aren't you glad you got a full explanation? I could have just said, yeah, I like Hendy more, but instead I gave you about a minute of my life. Maybe a minute and 20 seconds. That's dedication right there. Rock out. What else you got?
I think.
Or go ahead, Travis, and then rock out.
I was just going to say, just quick on Hendy. Look back at what Josh McDaniels did with a guy like James White, and Henderson is leagues above him when it comes to talent, ability, all that, and what he can do on the field. I mean, he's just going to be a monster in the passing game.
Or better yet, you look at what Vrabel did with Derrick Henry for a grip of time.
Yeah,
and this is the man he hand selects to be his running back. I think that says volumes that both these guys, McDaniels and Vrabel, wanted this situation. So honestly, I'm... Okay, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Luther Burden, Egbuka. Let's go Luther Burden here. See, I like Luther Burden. I don't love his situation, but I still love the player enough. Let's go with Scatman. Scatman.
I wish the Bears would have traded DJ Moore. I kind of feel like DJ Moore would be happy.
Someone needs me.
Help! Help! I'm going to lose my fantasy week! Somebody help! Call the Scat Man!
I am Scatman. Who needs my help? Wow. Bang, bang, boom. To the moon. Now it's time to go pick up your mother.
I like a little scat man at this territory that I got him. I'm fine with it. So Mahomes, Kyron, Hall, Hendy, Scattaboo, Monra, Nico, Luther Burden. Rock out. What else you got, bro?
What do you think about this structure if you didn't go like wide receiver? Say if you went Gibbs because Lamb didn't fall, and then the second round you took Bucky, and then the third round Rice, and then JD5.
Yeah. I mean, you get Debo with JD5 and Rasheed Rice. Love the receiver room considering the build. I'm not saying you have to get that, but I mean, if you get that, I'm flying high. I'm like, you give me Rice and Debo, and then you give me Bucky and Gibbs and JD5. I love when somebody says something like, I don't know about your receivers. Like as if you don't have a reason why you're taking a little bit of a fun risk with your wide receivers, a risk I like. Michael says, by the way, I just checked and I get my Bucky shirt Wednesday. Nice, bro. Let me go get my Bucky shirt on. Hold on a second. Question is, which Bucky shirt did you get, my boy? Did you get the Get Buckied or did you get the Bucky custom sketch? Because they're both fantastic. There we go. Almost on the clock, boys. Hang tight real quickly. Let me make this draft selection. Oh man, Kelsey had to get snagged. That sucks. He was kind of pushing it anyway, but damn, that would have been nice. I guess I'll go Jonu here. So Jonu. And then you got Sharbs, you got Tootin, you got Kyle. You've got Warren Besh. Blues pretty good there. Benson, I like that. Michael Pitts. Penix Jr., Ray Davis, McMillan. There's McMillan all the way down there. You know, Whoa. We got no time. Sharbs. So, Scattaboo, Sharbs, Trey, Brees Hall, Kyron, Mahomes, Amon-Ra, Nico, Luther Burden, Jonu. Not bad. What shirt did he get? Did he say the pixelated one? The pixelated one. Okay, hold on. I got to change again. Now you tell me. Where's my pixelated Bucky? Here's the other one, and you guys can get these in the YouTube store if you just go on my YouTube and click store. You should be able to find all of these there. If not, go to thefantasyfootballshow.com/merch. Where is my pixelated Bucky? I don't think I have this one up on the merch store. This is one of my favorites. This one is actually sketched as well. You can see when I zoom in. It's just, but this one I love, this JD5 one. But I can't find my pixelated Buckies. Hold on a second. I'll have to look later. I don't know where I put it. Smitty, you should use. Why should I use a different shirt? Vader, what's wrong with these? Is there a benefit? I've never even heard of that company. Also, when you integrate with YouTube, you got to use certain. You can't, bring a certain random shirt company into the YouTube store. So you're restricted in a way. But I like these. This is my favorite material. This red one specifically is like the one that's the most comfortable to me. And I've tried them all the different, like, this is like a heather, but not heather gray. It's like the red one. I forget what it's called. All right. Anything else, boys?
Yeah, can you give me a example of a good build if you took Bowers in round 2?
Example of a good team. What pick?
Say like the 203 for Bowers.
203. Okay, let me draft here with my two picks, and then I'll do that. Tyler Warren just got snagged. Wide receivers. Who do I like here? McMillan ain't bad, but I don't have Ibuka. Part of me wanted to go Ibuka instead of Burden, but I didn't, and maybe I'll live to regret that because I would have had a nice little cuff there. I don't want a tight end there. I like Trey Benson. Quarterback. Do I have a backup? I don't. I'm going to go Penix Jr. Unless he snipes me here. I'm going Penix Jr. And I'm doing it live. So my TV, I've got Penix Jr. My TV fell off the wall, and I've got this. Let me see if I can show it.
Let's go! Mashed potatoes!
You guys are used to seeing a TV up there, but the TV fell off the wall, ripped the drywall out. There's a big hole, like this big. And so I have a thing coming tomorrow, like a mount, because it's not a good situation, and it keeps ripping out of the wall, and I don't have any studs there in that area at all, in that specific place where I need to hang the TV. There's no other option for me, and so I put in, some measures to make sure it would hold. And the TV's not that heavy, but it just, for whatever reason, it's not sticking. It's not holding at all. So I've got a table mount coming, which I wanted to avoid because I got my monitors off the desk, and I've got stuff underneath them for storage. So is what it is. Oh, rock out your question from the
Yeah,
From
Bowers from like 203 after you took like
Okay.
wide receiver in the first round.
Okay. Let's try it. So I'll go grab me a Bowers graphic and we'll drop them there at 2.3. So the best team that I could imagine assembling from this draft slot. Now this is the part where it's like, am I getting neighbors? If you say no, then it's going to probably be BTJ or Amon Ra. So let's just throw... Like, do you want me to assume Neighbors is gone?
Yeah, let's say BCJ's there. Or
And
same
can
round.
I get Genty or no? You just got to tell me who you want me to...
You can get Gentic if you want.
Let's try both. Okay, so BTJ, Bowers, and then I think because I got no RB, I don't see a world where I'm skipping out on Kyron at the bottom of 3 if he's there. So I'm just gonna put that there. Yeah. And hold on, I'm on the clock again. Jonnu Smith is my tight end. I got Pitts, so I can go Kyle Pitts maybe. Or I got Penix Jr., so I can go Kyle Pitts. So I want Kyle Pitts. Kyron Williams, we'll put in the 3rd round spot.
Yep.
Is this a best ball draft or a grandma league where I can get Harvey in 5?
Just a home league.
Okay, so you think you can get Harvey in 5? 5.10 or 9 or whatever?
Possibly, but maybe not. Yeah, let's say you could get him at 5.
Okay. So let's go put Harvey. At 5. So now I've got, in my opinion, 2 top 10 running backs easily. I've got the number 1 tight end or number 2 tight end at least. I've got a top 4 to 7 wide receiver. It could be anywhere in that range. Round 4, honestly, it could go 100 different ways. Is JD5 going around 4?
Yeah, late 4.
And if anybody's wondering why I'm asking, it's not that I don't know these things. It's that every league's different. And if he's in a home league, he's going to pull off some of this where he's not in a best ball draft. So I'm trying to get a feel for his, the people he's drafting with. And then I'm going to say you're probably getting Debo in round 6. Now, Debo might go earlier because it's a home league and they don't doubt him like many others do, because that's just the way things go. Sometimes there's steals in home leagues, and other times there's people that just keep, drafting the same player, and they don't ever there's no downtick like there is in the real world. This would be one of my favorite teams. You're taking wide receiver early, and then you abandon the wide receiver. This is hero wide receiver. So you got BTJ and Debo as your wide receivers. You're going hero wide receiver through 5 rounds. And then you got Kyron and Harvey, you got Bowers, you got JD5 and Debo. This is a fantastic team. If I was to take, let's say, BTJ out, and let's put Genty up in here at RB, how does that change everything I'm doing? And it does quite a bit.
Yeah.
If I'm forcing Bowers at that 2.3 because you want me to build a Bowers team, then I'm probably looking to MHJ or Garrett Wilson in this 3rd round territory. So let's call it who's available, who's more likely available, Garrett Wilson or MHJ. And I don't mind JSN too, but
probably MSJ.
MHJ? MSJ.
Yeah, Marvin Harris Jr.
Yeah, okay. So we'll go MHJ. Yeah, I mean, the same team, essentially. I don't think The variables are really just round 3. If you go Genty, your kind of best player available does become a wide receiver in round 3 more than it becomes Kyron. So MSJ, aka MSJ, this guy is key. This is a good team too. I mean, Debo and MSJ is pretty solid. I like it. Now the thing is, if you can get, if for any reason you can get neighbors, like you're picking a little bit higher, or obviously a Lamb, then it makes it a whole different thing. You could also use Travis Hunter in round 4, and if you forego JD5 and you go Travis Hunter here, and let's put Kyron back on the board in this 3 hole. Let's put Brian Thomas Jr. back on the board in the first round, and then we'll keep Harvey here, and then maybe you don't get Debo here. But hold on, I'm on the clock. Let me just see what I need. Any wide receiver is pretty bad. Let's go Yoshi Voss, I suppose. So now you're looking at Mahomes in round 6. In a home league, he could go around 4. It really just depends on who you're drafting with. Magazine drafters don't know that Mahomes has fallen. Similar to Debo, like you might not see this kind of value at quarterback. If not, then you go Kyler and Dak stack. You go Penix Jr. and Kyler, or Penix Jr. and Dak, or something like that. But this would also be a tremendously fun team. And I know this puts a lot of pressure on the Jaguars, but you could swap out BT for St. Brown pretty easily. Or Nico. Do you like Nico or St. Brown more?
St. Brown, because Nico has more injury history.
Okay. St. Brown does play crazy aggressive, but yeah, okay. So this team's fantastic too. I mean, St. Brown, Bowers, Kyron, Hunter, Harvey, Mahomes. I mean, I love it all, bro. I like it.
What if we switched it to McBride?
McBride in 2? Well, then you're kind of talking about like getting Lamb teams with Lamb, because McBride is probably going to fall a little bit later. Yeah. So if you're getting McBride, that means you're most likely at a mid first round pick. So McBride mid second, CeeDee Lamb at the mother flipping like 1.6 or 1.5, whatever the case may be. Where's my lamb chop graphic? There we are. Lamb chops to the moon. I love Lamb this year. Okay, Lamb. So Lamb in 1, McBride in 2. Kyron, no doubt about it, I'd take him in 3 if that was the case. And you could go back to the JD5 if you wanted. You could still go this route. You could take Mahomes in best ball. If it's not best ball, then you go Debo and JD5. Like, you're back to this right here, which I love. This is great. If you want to put Hunter in here and Mahomes over here, that's fine too. This is great. This is better. I'd rather have McBride in the mid second because I could get Lamb than have Bowers, but have that slightly different wide receiver. All right, boys. Anything else? Travis, you got anything else?
Did I see? I don't know if it's just a Schnauzer or if it's different in other drafts. Is Brees going at the top of round 4 now? Is that where he's going?
Yeah, roughly. It depends on every draft's a little bit different, but if I look at the ADP rankings real quickly, let's see if I can pull those bad boys up. The ADP rankings on Underdog for 2025 has Brees Hall going at 37.8. So yeah, 4.1.
Okay, yeah, that's what I have. And that shirt you have on, is that in the store? Because people were saying that.
Okay, so for the Get Buckied shirt, or the Get Buckied shirt, let me see. It might not be loading yet because it's kind of newer. Let me see if I can get a direct link for it though. Yep, this is all the pixelated stuff on top of this shirt here. So if you want the pixelated shirts and then also this Get Bucky shirt, boom, there's the link. And that'll have all of them there. On the clock here. On the clock here. Oh, I'm going to time out. Move, 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 move. Tesla! 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 I guess. I really am liking him at the end. Like, we're talking around 18. I only have Kyle Pitts and Jonnu Smith. I feel like I botched a little bit. I auto-drafted on Giddens. I was wondering why I didn't have an extra pick. I autoed on Giddens. Must have autoed right on screen. I didn't even see it. So I autoed on Giddens because I wanted another backup tight end. But that's okay. Team looks as follows. Mahomes, Penix, Tua, Kyron, Brees Hall, Hendy, Scat, Sharbs, timed out on Giddens. Giddens is interesting though. JT, gets banged up a lot. Amon-Ra, Nico, Burden, McMillan, Yoshi Voss, Keenan Allen, Tesla, Jonnu Smith, Kyle Pitts. Not bad. All right, everybody get that link. Love these shirts, and then of course I think the pixelated, the one that who was it that said they got the pixelated? Michael, was his name Michael? He's talking about this shirt right here. And this is
This is the first time he bought a non-Ravens piece of gear.
Really? This color I'm wearing right now is called Red Heather. So it's a red heather instead of heather gray. It's heather red, but it's the most comfortable out of all of them. So like here's an example of the Bucky, the pixelated Bucky, and the two colors. This one, for some reason, I just love the feel of this material a little bit more, but some people like gray a little bit better. But I like these shirts. And then they Get Buckied. And again, the link, I'll drop the link one more time. It's right here if anybody wants to grab these. Those pixelateds are fun because you literally walk up to someone. I mean, if you wear the pixelated to a party, it is the coolest shirt in the world to walk up to somebody. This is not blurry. This is what it looks like. It's pixelated, like mad. Like this is not it didn't load, Smitty. What's the picture? No, this is it. It's basically the Bucky graphic. This one right here. Let me put it on screen. But pixelated to Shiat. And the reason I love it, I wear it all the time, and people stare at it. And they're like, and if they don't know what it is, they don't know ball. So you walk up to somebody and you start talking to them at a party, and they don't know what it is. They don't know ball. And if somebody goes, "Is that Bucky Irving?" You'd be like, "Bro." And then you just start talking foosball. It's the greatest conversation starter ever. I love wearing them everywhere. And this one right here, I wore this to, where was I? I was in a restaurant. What restaurant was I in? Damn it, I'm forgetting. I forget where I was. It's a very popular restaurant. I just can't think of the name of where I was. But I was wearing this, and I remember I was waiting for some takeout food. I wasn't eating there. And I was standing by the host station or whatever, and there was the whole restaurant sitting there. It was like a pub bar. And everyone's just staring at this shirt. And it's like a sports pub bar. So I knew I was like in a place where this is going to maybe get some looks. And it's like, Get Bucky. And everyone's just kind of like, what's he wearing? I could tell there were like a couple guys really looking, and they're like kind of like, nodding over at the shirt. And so I just kind of stood there. And sometimes I walk up, I'm not embarrassed to admit, I'm like, hey, here's a card. I don't know if you guys ever play fantasy football or watch a channel. Here's my channel. Check it out. Let me know in the chat where that hey, I'm the guy, you saw at the bar. And so I try and, hand out cards like that. I'm not ashamed to admit I guerrilla market. But yeah, I wear these out, and this one gets tons of looks, and the pixelated ones get a lot of looks. And then the other one that's one of my favorite pixelateds of them all, I believe it's the first of all, the Burrow one's fantastic because he looks like a little kid. Like, you know, those cartoons everybody's like doing right now on social media where like it shows an adult talking as a little like 2-year-old. It kind of looks like that. And then the Kyron Williams is fantastic. This one looks great. Here's the Joe Burrow. So that's pixelated. There's Joe Burrow. He already looks really funny in that photo. He looks really young in the photo, and then you pixelate it, looks even more funny. And then the Kyron. The Kyron's the most pixelated one I have. Like, I really went to town on this one. Like, if you know what this is, you know ball. You know ball. That is the true test. You walk into a room full of sports enthusiasts, and they don't know who that is. They're behind. All right, Travis, anything else? Link in the description.
No, I'm good.
All right.
I appreciate it, Smitty.
Rock out. See you later, bro.
Bye.
Later, boys.
All right, see ya.
All right, I'm out of here. Appreciate you all. Hit that like button on the way out the door. Again, kind of I think an exciting announcement. First of all, you know, this move might hopefully open up that the Rumble channel will still somewhat be in existence down the road. I totally have plans to make sure that we're hitting Rumble in the future. But right now, it's not in the plans. The Fantasy Football Show is now going to be all the Dynasty content, all of the redraft content. I mean, Dynasty was always on this channel anyway. It's just we had a Dynasty channel that was focused. But to be honest with you, there's no way to keep up with it that made it consistent enough to be doing it when I could just do it over on this channel. So there will be Dynasty dedicated live streams, but we will also attack content as much as possible from a redraft and Dynasty context anytime I do it. So if I do a Genty video tomorrow, let's say, it will talk Dynasty, it will talk redraft, it'll be all encompassing. But I will do Dynasty specific shows, and on the homepage of the YouTube channel, just go down and you'll see literally a Dynasty row. You'll see a Dynasty row, and it'll be a playlist, and it'll be all Dynasty only content. So if I do a live stream where get Bucky, yeah, we need to do the Neighbors. Neighbors is the one we have and Neighbors arms wide open. So we'll have a Neighbors video with that for sure. Justin, appreciate the super chat. Bucky, yeah, Bucky could be in that song too, but the song was just intended for Neighbors. The Neighbors' arms wide open. So anyway, the Fantasy Football Show is Dynasty content now on this channel. There's no need to go looking for it on the other channel. The other channel I am changing to Fantasy Football Unplugged. And you're already subscribed to it. If you're subscribed to the Dynasty channel, please don't unsubscribe to it. If you haven't already subscribed to it, here is the link to that channel. It is right here. And what is it going to be about? At Fantasy Football Unplugged. It is basically Hard Knocks of this channel. It'll be the Hard Knocks of this channel. It'll be the behind the scenes, but in a very entertaining way. The Intern show will be on there, a sitcom that I created called the Fantasy Football Intern. It's acting, but it's like it takes a lot of reality from the show, and so sometimes you don't even know if I'm acting really or telling the truth about what's really going on. And so the Fantasy Football Intern will be on that channel. Any vlogging about the channel in general will be on that channel, and just in general shows about stuff like, example, we're waiting for the Aaron Rodgers news to break, and I've been accumulating content around that since my Disneyland trip. And so I'm putting together, and as soon as the Aaron Rodgers news is announced, and I can create the tail end of it, of me giving you my advice on it, my opinion, like I'm going to give fantasy takes on the Unplugged channel. It's going to come from a Hard Knocks perspective, behind the scenes, keeping up with the Smitty's type of perspective. So the Dynasty channel has been changed to this right here, Fantasy Football Unplugged, and it'll be unplugged. It'll be the channel unplugged. It'll be your boy unplugged. It'll be getting food. It'll be the TV falling off the wall, which I have audio of that while I'm recording something. All of that is going to be in the Unplugged channel. This will be a very entertaining place to go. Smitty's Fantasy Football Unplugged wide open. So subscribe to Unplugged if you haven't. It's in the comments here. I'll put it here one more time. Let me just make sure that that link is working. It is youtube.com/@fantasyfootball_unplugged. Let me copy that. Let me just make sure that works. Right now, there's a couple videos on there from the old Dynasty stuff, but once I have my first video up there, I'm going to drop the Fantasy Football Intern sitcom on there, and you guys are going to love it. So anyway, that's the news announcement that will come tomorrow. So Unplugged Fantasy Football Show. The Patreon, get over to the Patreon, patreon.com/the Fantasy Football Show. And that link is in the description of every video. I'm on Spotify and Apple Podcasts as the Fantasy Football Show. I'm on Instagram as the Fantasy Football Show. I'm on Rumble as the Fantasy Football Show. And don't forget, thefantasyfootballshow.com is year-round content, breaking news, bold predictions, all of that and more. I will see you all tomorrow. Appreciate you all. And get ready for a huge 2025. I'm so excited about this Dynasty move because it allows me to attack Dynasty with a relentless approach versus trying to divide up things. And you will find on the homepage of the YouTube channel, my YouTube homepage, you'll see a Dynasty row. It's the second row. Probably will always remain the second row playlist. And I vow to make my homepage of my YouTube channel super organized. So if you're looking for Fantasy Football Court, you're looking for Panic Chamber, you're looking for Waiver Wire, you'll find rows of those, and some of those playlists will develop as the season goes along. Like, there's no Waiver Wire row yet, but you'll get that. See you all later. Subscribe to Fantasy Football Unplugged if you haven't already. It's youtube.com/@Fantasy Football Unplugged. Link is right here one more time. Subscribe to that channel. Don't miss my Unplugged channel about the background of this show as things evolve, the creating of the content. See you all on Patreon. Patreon is, again, $10 a month. Cancel anytime. Link I'll drop in the live chat right here. Here's the link to the Patreon. Travis will be over there right now. I'll be over there right now. And we'll be talking and chatting on the Patreon with arms wide open. Yeah, FFU for Fantasy Football Unplugged is a good way to talk about it like that. FF Unplugged and then the plug emoji. I like that. Like that, Travis. But FFU. FFU plug. Yeah. Arms wide open. See you on the Patreon.
Got him.